What's up YouTube, you're Inside the Edge and I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to talk about the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm going to talk about Jaren Jackson Jr. And this is going to be an exciting video. I mean, this was a video I wanted to make prior, but with Jaren Jackson, I know he's dealt with a lot of injuries, which he will be sidelined heading into next season with a foot injury. He has a foot stress injury in his right foot, so he's going to have to rehab this summer to get back into NBA shape. But with that being said, guys, I mean, we're seeing that the Western Conference is getting a lot more tougher. You guys can leave a comment below and who do you think will be the dark horses of the Western Conference. But, looking at Golden State, they have a possibility to go back and repeat. Looking at what Luka's doing with the Mavericks, the Mavericks is another team that can try to make a comeback this season. But looking at the Grizzlies, this is my sleeper team. I'm looking at the Grizzlies, I'm looking at this core, and all these guys are so young, but they love playing with each other. When you look at Ja Morant, he gives this team a whole lot of confidence. We're seeing so many stars blossom. Looking at Baines, looking at Dylan Brooks, then looking at Jaren Jackson Jr., the guy that I'm actually going to get into today. I mean, this is a young core, this is a young, talented team, and I can see this team winning a championship within the next 2 seasons. I'm predicting this team to go to the conference finals this upcoming season. That's my prediction. I want to hear what you guys think. But the reason why I feel like that is because of Jaren Jackson Jr. This is a guy that I really want to spend a lot of time on talking about, because as much as we talk about Ja Morant being the engine to this team, I also believe Jaren Jackson Jr., what he contributes to this Memphis team is defense. I would say his outside shooting ability definitely gives this team a whole lot of confidence for players to be within themselves, to do what they do. You're looking at Aaron Baines. He feels like he doesn't have to do too much because he has Brandon Clarkson crashing the boards. You have Tyrus Jones, you have Baines, like I mentioned, Dylan Brooks. These are guys that's just building so much confidence, and they're playing with so much camaraderie, and I feel like they build each other up to be better. I know we can talk about Jaren Jackson, his flaws. I mean, just to get into it, earlier in his career, he's always faced a lot of challenging. It was always a challenge for him to be in position to make defensive plays. I know he dealt with a lot of foul trouble. Being outside of an important game when you're just sitting on the bench. And there's nothing you can do. That's frustrating. I think that's something that Jaren Jackson has to, continue to get better at and mature at just knowing when to, how to be in better position to make a block and not draw fouls. I think that's probably his biggest flaw that many of us see and point out. But outside of that, just like I mentioned, one guy I would have to shout out is Brandon Clarke. This guy Clarke, he's ever since he stepped in coming out of Gonzaga, this is a guy that steps up in big moments. He loves to crash the boards, and this is a team that picks each other up. But with Jaren Jackson, he brings a dynamic to this team. He brings stature, he brings dominance. He's listed at a 7'4" wingspan, and he's 6'11", guys. This is a big body. So for him to play his game and being able to shoot from the outside, which, by the way, guys, he's a knockdown shooter. This guy, he's been trigger happy ever since he got into the league. This guy has shot a lot of 3-pointers. But one thing I can say about Jaren Jackson, why I think he's so valuable for this Grizzlies team, is because he is not afraid to take big shots. He's taken a lot of shots this season in the fourth quarter. If you can look at the highlights for yourself, you're going to see a lot of shots he's taken, and it's been in late fourth quarter situations, down to the last minute of the fourth quarter. He's taking that kind of shots, and him being a power forward, you're like, whoa, but he has the green light, guys. And just throughout his career, he's always been, shooting the 3-ball. And this year he's shooting 31.9% from 3. Not his best year at shooting the 3-ball, but one thing that we can say is Jaren Jackson, he is coming off of, I would say the best year of his career. He played 78 games. And he averaged 16.3 points. He shot 41.5 from the field. I think he had a solid season to lead this Memphis Grizzlies to, the playoffs. And I think with him coming back to next season, if he can come back and rehab that foot, I think he's going to be, the defensive player of the year. If you guys don't know, he averaged 2.3 blocks this season, and he led the league. And I think there's no way that engine can stop. You know, I think if he comes back to this Grizzlies team, that's what he's going to bring to the Grizzlies. And I think, you know, Jared Jackson, he's going to bring, you know, he's going to elevate his teammates. His game is going to elevate this team to be better. Just like I mentioned, because of his shot blocking ability, and just the way he can be in the post, play his back to the basket, and be able to, you know, use his head fake, you know, do turnaround jump shots and turnaround fades. You know, those, you know, him being in the present in the post, that's something that he is working on daily, and it becomes a threat to most teams in this league. But Jared Jackson Jr., I mean, he's the big focal point heading into next season. You know, if he can play at a high level, just like I mentioned, and when I say at a high level, it's not like he has to be a 20-point scorer or anything, but if he's averaging 16 points, you know, and I would love to see him even aim for maybe 8 rebounds this season. He hasn't had over 6 rebounds in his first 4 years in the league. You know, last season he had 5.8 rebounds. That's almost 6, but I would like to maybe see his rebounding numbers go up a little bit. I would love to see him crash the boards more on that, but I think with Jared Jackson coming into his 5th season, I think I can already see him being an all-star. You know, and just I could also compare him to being a prototypical player as a Bam Adebayo, except I think Jared Jackson could actually be better than Bam. You know, I like Bam. I love what he does with the Miami Heat and him being a defensive anchor, but with Jared Jackson being an outside 3-point shooter, I think that's what's so unique about him from other bigs. And, you know, this Grizzlies team is going to thrive on Jared Jackson Jr. And like I mentioned before, I mean, this Grizzlies team, to me, they're going to be my sleeper team. You know, this is the team that I'm picking to make the Western Conference Finals next year. Just because the camaraderie, guys. I mean, this team is young, but you can just see the brotherhood. You know, Baines, Dylan Brooks, you know, Brandon Clarke, you know, Jared Jackson, Tyreek Jones, you know, Ja, these guys, they love playing together, and you can see it when they're on the court. You know, you can see the ball movement, you can see the trust. You know, when Jared Jackson, when he's out or when he's in foul trouble, you know, you see so many times Brandon Clark's, you know, steps up to the plate and, you know, make plays for this team. So I want to hear what you guys think about Jared Jackson, and what do you guys feel about this Grizzlies team? I know, you know, the way things turned out this year, you know, the goal was to, you know, make the finals, but I think heading into next season and for what they have and the camaraderie that they have, I think this team is going to be a sleeper, and I think this team is going to make their way into a Western Conference Finals. What do you guys feel about that? But until next time, guys, I want to hear your guys' opinion. I feel like Jared Jackson is really slept on in the league. I feel like he's an underrated player. I know he's got his shine in the playoffs, but I think next season, I know people are aiming for Jonathan Isaac to make a comeback player of the year and be the defensive player of the year, but I got Jared Jackson Jr. Taking that defensive player of the year award. I want to hear what you guys think about that one as well. So until next time, guys, down below, man, just drop a comment, drop a like, you know, subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you guys till next time. Peace.